The Boston Breakers. Hello everyone, I'm your host Mark Serban. It's a pleasure to be with you here from Oceanside, California as the Breakers come in the number 4 seed in the tournament and the best offense in the tournament. 174 goals in just 31 games played, and they stormed their way through Group D to reach the first ever semifinals. A big part of that is Catherine Berry, 56 goals in just 19 games this season, including a goal versus SC Del Sol. For Solar, they come in the number 2 seed of the tournament, and they went through Group B a perfect 3-0 to make it through. Another very strong offense, over 100 goals on the season as well, and a big part of that is their national team star in Trinity Byers. 9 goals in 3 playoff games so far for Solar's number 15. So it's number 2 Solar versus number 4 Boston Breakers. The winner goes through to the first ever Girls 18-19 U.S. Soccer Development Academy Final. It's next here on USSoccerDA.com.
What's up, Tracy?
Hey, Chris. Chris Hayes and Mr. Barron right behind him.
Yeah, stick it right there.
Where's his hands? Oh, he's in the shade. You see it.
Hey, guys.
Here you are. I'm really focused on really young.
Kinetic. Yeah, hard.
We're getting set for the first ever U-18-19 girls semifinal in the U.S. Soccer Development Academy, and it's between the Boston Breakers and Solar. Mark Serba alongside Danielle Diavanzo, and Danielle, 2 high-powered offenses going into this one, 2 of the top seeds as well. This is going to be an awesome game.
This should be a high-flying game. Both teams getting a lot of pressure on the defensive ends, trying to penetrate quickly and get goals right off the bat. One of the players to watch for, I think, would be Trinity Byers. She is averaging a hat trick right now with 9 goals in 3 games. And what's most impressive is their last showing. She scored 4 goals in 9 minutes.
26 goals in just 17 games this season for Trinity Byers, who also has 5 goals for the U.S. U-16s this year. As we are on our way with the walkouts. Two teams shaded in blue and white. It's the Boston Breakers, who are to your left with the darker blue and the white shade. Solar to your right with the white and the blue shade. And the referees in the middle. Brittany Hingerman is your woman in the middle this afternoon. Kirizania Wasiak is the assistant referee number 1. Stephen Whalen will be the assistant referee number 2 on the far side. And Courtney Cummings is the 4th official in between the benches. Solar, the number 2 seed, won the Frontier Division, going 23-1-3 with 101 goals for and just 24 goals against. Stormed through Group B with a 5-1 win over the Michigan Hawks, followed by a 4-0 victory over Penn Fusion, and finishing it off with a 5-2 win against the San Diego Surf. Well, the Boston Breakers come in as the Northeast Division champions, 24-3-1, 169 goals in the regular season. They followed that scoring streak in the playoffs, a 3-2 win over La Roca, followed by a 2-0 win over SC Del Sol. Lost on the final day, 2-0 to Top Hat when they were already through. Taking a look at the lineup for Solar, so many players who can hurt you in so many ways. Byers, you already said, stands out to you. Who else stands out to you, Danielle?
Another player to look forward to is Meza, Samantha Meza, she has had time with the U-17 women's national team, is looking to be a starter when they compete with the U-17 World Cup next year. She was a starter during the CONCACAF games, or leading up to it, and was in that final game where they had a 3-2 comeback victory versus Mexico to win the CONCACAF championship.
But now stand aside and listen to the playing of our national anthem. So it's the Frontier Division champions Solar against the Northeast Division champions Boston Breakers. This is going to be a good one. Couldn't ask for a better game to kick off the U-18-19 semifinals in the inaugural year in the Girls Development Academy. Over 300 goals scored between these two teams, but staunch defenses as well. Solar has only given up 27 goals in 30 games with 12 shutouts. Well, for the Breakers, they've given up 41 goals in 31 games, 11 shutouts to their name as well. So that 2-0 loss to Top Hat was only the second time all season that the Breakers have been shut out, but they were already through. It was a game that really for them didn't have meaning, probably resting players and making sure that everybody was fit for this semifinal. It was a team that won their last regular season game 14-0 heading into these playoffs. Might be a little bit different against this staunch defense of Solar out of Dallas, Texas.
So at this point, I don't think we'll see a 14-0 game, and if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But at this point, I think you're in the semifinals. It's going to be a tough matchup between two teams. I think whichever team breaks the floodgate first is just going to carry that momentum and keep going, and it'll be up to the other team to figure out how do we recover, how do we stay strong and keep our defensive shape and not allow players like Byers or on the flip side like Barry to just explode and keep going.
Solar breaks out of their huddle. There's a good look at Barry. Will play her college ball at South Carolina, one of 1,056 players in the U.S. Soccer Development Academy who signed to play college soccer in 2018. As we are underway in the first ever girls U-18-19 U.S. Soccer Development Academy semifinals, and it's Solar who kick us off. Well, a lot of scouts sitting in front of us, and one thing the scouts told me, Danielle, is in just the first year of the Development Academy, from what they saw in September to what they're seeing now. They said the girls have grown leaps and bounds throughout the country, but these are two academies who've really set the standard.
Well, the Boston Breakers have that history behind them where they've been a staple in the girls' development for years, and it's nice to see that these other girls' teams are getting the development and the attention that has been given to the men's side for a long time.
This one in the middle for Missimo. Little room to run. She'll circle back with it, and now tries to thread it forward. This is Bears, and it's cleared out by Tivonen. So it'll be a throw in for Abels. Gets it back, rather popped up in the air, and it's stolen by Barry. Has McGuire ahead of her. Barry tries to poke it into her path, but she's cut off. And it's Solar to go the other way. Mattingly gets it off. It's a good flowing move for Solar, and the ball comes through for Mattingly. Mattingly trying to step inside, and that stellar one-on-one defending. Still something could be on for Solar at the top of the box. Slid out for Ellis. She'll get it back to Simmons. Thread it for Mattingly again. This one will roll by her. Off of Mattingly and out of bounds.
Well, already you're seeing the build-up possession style play that Solar wants to do. They want to be able to move the ball around, keep switching the point of attack until they spread the defense in their attempt to shift and then exploit the gap to go forward.
Sabasco brings it down for Solar. And this is Bright to bring it forward for Solar. Out wide it goes, and into touch. Talk about all the scouts that are here. Before this playoffs and showcase, the 140 U.S. Soccer Network scouts had scouted over 3,000 regular season matches. A space at the top of the box for Missimo! An early opener for Solar, and it's an absolute screamer from Missimo.
Unbelievable build-up by Byers, who was able to penetrate forward, cut it back quickly, and find the open player. Missimo, just in that pocket in the middle, was able to take a touch and send a rocket into the back of the net to take an early 1-0 lead. And there it is again, Byers with a quick step over, cut back, plays it through the gap. Missimo in that pocket, touch to set up, second touch into the goal.
Alexis Missimo, a U-16 international, playing 3 years up, and she's the one who opens the scoring for Solar. 1-0 in the 3rd minute for the Texas side.
That's where you see that combination there. Missimo and Byers, both 0-3s, younger players combining with each other and being able to play up and play well at a higher level.
Byers, of course, one of 3 Byers who are in the U.S. Youth National Team system. Her sister is Treasure and Truth, also featuring for the youth national teams. And Byers, the woman who's so often the one who gets on the score sheet, this time turns provider. She cuts back for Missio, who picked out the corner quite beautifully and with authority.
So now the question is, how does Boston respond?
Threaded through, looking for the run of McGuire. It's Cofton who is trying to play her in. And forward they go. Byers spinning. She was double teamed, and it's won back by the Breakers. McGuire trying to get on the end of it. Knows some of these Solar players well, having spent time in the youth national team camps, McGuire. This one back, little touch off from Byers. Mattingly has space, wants to play to her feet. She'll get it. Tried to slide it inside. It's cut out by Ray. Good shielding from Ray on Mattingly, spins away from her, but it's overtaken by Missimo. Now she's looking to play it over the top, trying to ghost in between the center backs as Byers, but Tivonen will clear.
Great
and
defending.
Bourgeois does well to get back and keep it from going out for a corner.
So that was great defending there to not only win the ball, shield it from the player, but also to play it out and not get a corner kick out of it.
Good hold-up play from McGuire. Out wide for Zoe Allen. Allen has 3 players pouring forward in front of her. Slides the return ball to McGuire, but Bright is wise to it, and she cuts it off.
The Bright there had a great little cut to be able to break that plane and penetrate forward. Just unfortunate that the ball that was played out, player wasn't checking back quick enough to be able to win it back and go the other way.
This will roll out of bounds, so it'll be a goal kick for Solar, who have the ball in the lead in the 6th minute. Missimo in the 3rd, blasting it from the penalty spot into the upper corner after she was played through by Byers. Header won by Ray, helped on by Barry. Not a bad idea from Del Pico trying to slide it through. Del Pico, a very smart player and smart in the classroom as well, as she'll be going to Harvard. Del Pico, described by her head coach, Ronald Lopes, as a magician with the ball at her feet. This is McGuire, wins the first corner kick of the game. The Breakers looking to level things early on.
This is a great turn by McGuire there to post up and try to turn to the outside and try to cross the ball off, and instead it was poked away by Ware. So now the Boston Breakers have their first corner of the match. Look to see how they are able to try to convert on this set piece.
This is Del Pico. Drills it across. Keeper comes out and makes the catch. Sutherland holding on to it and waiting for her players to get upfield. Thought about distributing it quickly, and now we'll give it the boot. She's SMU bound, Sutherland. Coughton tried to help it on, but it's won back by Solar. This is Ware. Defended by Olivia Hicks.
Where you're seeing there, Boston decided to sit back a little bit and try to bait them to play that long ball in. They were able to read it out. Hicks coming through, winning the ball, and now Boston has possession as they attempt to try to build up into the attacking 3rd.
Calm under pressure, Boston. Barry guides it down the line. McGuire chasing. And a good job by Ware to shepherd that ball out of bounds for a goal kick.
Right now you're seeing Boston having the ability to play possession in the middle 3rd. They're just missing that final ball in, just a few steps off right now. And once they're able to connect more with McGuire or be able to get that penetrating ball into the attacking 3rd, that's where you'll start to see a bit more scoring opportunities be built off of it.
15 goals now in a little over 3 games in these playoffs for Solar. The number 2 seed with a 1-0 lead, courtesy of a 3rd minute strike from Alexis Missimo. Sutherland pops it out wide, over the head of Abels. Be a throw-in for the Breakers. This team's fighting for a spot in Friday's final, which will be 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. This one bought down, hammered clear. Well, that was really smart from Byers. Let Capadona put the first ball in the air and decided to go for the second ball. But in the end, it's Boston who come away with it. Ray shielding, Byers intercepting. Byers picks her head up. And stepping in is Alicia Bourgeois.
Well, that's where you would have loved to see Sabasco check to the ball rather than stand and wait, and that's where Boston is going to be able to take advantage of those type of players. If you're going to sit and wait, they're going to pick your pocket and go the other way.
Coughton did a great job to lead the break, but then the ball forward for McGuire was too far and rolled all the way into Sutherland.
We're seeing again the awareness of Byers, as you mentioned before. Rather than trying to outrun a player, she decided, I'm going to sit back, wait for your first touch, and I'm going to pounce on the second ball. And just that continued pressure, being able to lead the team into that pocket of defenders where they ended up winning the ball and going the other way.
Bright shuts the door, but it's won back by Connie Ray. Ray able to play it off of Ellis, and it's a throw-in on the far side for the Boston Breakers in the 11th minute. Zoe Allen. Berry with the touch on. McGuire spins, shoots. Sutherland well positioned.
It's a great little combination there in tight spaces, being able to play that ball quickly through, finding McGuire, who again showing off how well she could shield and turn the ball, and rips a shot off, but it went right into the hands of Sutherland, who was in the position to be able to make the save.
Byers, little touchback from Missimo. Return ball for Byers. She'll get there before Stam, who's able to make the save and smother it at the second attempt. Good goalkeeping by Holland Stam coming off her line for the Boston Breakers.
That was a great save by Stam. No hesitation there to come out, and the build-up again. I love how whenever they get the ball high, you've got Missimo sitting right underneath, being open for that backdrop pass to then penetrate forward with that ball over the top. And that was a beautiful ball in. But again, Stam doing a great job of coming forward and making that save. And here it is again, that beautiful ball getting right in front into the path of Meza, just unable to get it around the keeper as Stam came out flying high, made herself look big, and was able to make the save.
You know, the other thing for me about that ball, we'll get back to it in a second, something could be on here for Solar. The ball that Missimo played, notice that it curled out at the end. So many players would have played it straight, in which it would have bounced into Stam, but because it curled, she played it with that curl on it, it meant that the keeper had to stay on her line, Byers get to it, and then Stam had to come out to make the play.
Stam there again, deciding right away, I'm going to come out and smother it, just try to put pressure on Meza, and that worked in her favor rather than sitting and waiting. But Missimo there has that awareness to be able to play it around and try to dip it a little more further out right, so that way it's not directly in the path of Stam, forcing her to make a decision.
Mattingly. Simmons in the midfield for Solar. Bright. Back to Ware. This is Abels. Sebaska. This is Missimo. Has space. Instead, she looks for the shot, which is charged down by Capadona and won by Cofton. Stepped in by Ellis. Near side Mattingly did well just to get ahead on that. It was fizzed into her, but unable to keep it in, and it'll be a throw in for the Breakers in the 14th minute.
So Ellis had a great first touch there to push herself forward, breaking through that line and trying to find that pocket to switch the ball to the other side. Just a little too much power there.
Over the head of Mattingly. McGuire chasing. Ware and Bright conspiring to win it back for Solar. Missimo has been heavily involved. And here she is again to get on the end of the pass. It was a good return ball to her, just a bit overcooked. There'll be another throw in for the Breakers in the 15th minute. Both teams have looked so dangerous going forward.
So Solar's done a phenomenal job of playing in that midfield, and you see every time they win the ball, they immediately get wide. They're trying to spread the Boston Breakers defense and then be able to make runs into those pockets that they're creating and just do quick little combinations to get forward.
Hicks rather off the back of Zoe Allen. Well, she's in between the lines here, Missimo. And Capadona cutting that one off as it was trying to be smuggled through for Byers.
Great read there by Capadona, be able to position herself and almost bait her to try to play that through ball in, and she recognized where the gap was and plugged herself into it to be able to win that ball and go the other way.
Missimo They're finding little balls through the defense, but it's Boston to go the other way. So Breakers player struggling behind the play, but she gets up. Further on it continues through the number 10, Del Pico. Is in a battle with Bright, cuts her off. Del Pico took it off her foot. She goes down, no foul. Boston come out of the scrum with it, but nobody making the run to the corner, so it'll be a throw-in for Solar.
I think she was just looking for that overlapping run, and unfortunately nobody went ahead, maybe thinking if they were caught ahead, they might have been offside, so they had decided to hold back. You're seeing already Boston's being very physical, and they're willing to put up a fight, and we're seeing the refereeing staff is allowing things to play out right now.
Missimo has time to receive the ball, turn, look up, pick out a pass, and it's a gorgeous one over the top. Stam, top of her box, good realization that she was outside of it, so she'll sweep it clear.
And Meza showing the speed again of trying to get in from behind and go straight to goal. But Stam we're seeing is very aggressive on her line, which right now is kind of what you need to put that pressure back on Solar players coming forward.
She's playing with great confidence, Holland Stam, future Duke Blue Devil. Missimo at the heart of everything this Solar side does. Abels. Sabasco gets the return ball. Gorgeously slipped in for Missimo. This is Missimo, and it's Stam to the rescue once again.
I love the little give and go combinations, and you just see the gaps opening up the quicker they play. Missimo, just that first touch, just missed it on that one in. Try to get the second one, but Stam again being there, playing larger than life right now, enable her ability to come out and win the ball.
Good touch from Abels. Not only to bring it down, but to get it forward. Mattingly. Back for Abels. Mattingly. Abels did well to keep it in. Mattingly. Missimo gets it out wide to the far side for Bright. A gorgeous interior combination passing from the Breakers, and it's opened up the space for Mattingly. Mattingly quickly closed down, but she didn't have an outlet.
Boston doing a great job there to pretty much surround her with 4 players, not allowing Mattingly to turn or give that drop back pass that they've been so accustomed to doing. They love to play the ball high, drop it back into a sitting player, and then go forward again.
This is Abels. Play her college ball at Baylor. Steps inside of Barry and leaves it off for Missimo. Missimo continuing to orchestrate the attack quite beautifully. Mattingly trying to put it across, but it's catching practice for Stam in the end.
Mattingly there kind of putting her hand up saying, I know, my bad, I didn't get my foot underneath it enough. Looks like her foot just went a little bit too high to make a chip rather than having more of a driven ball going to the far post with it looked to be at least 2 players sitting there waiting for that cross.
Abels wins the header. Called into action again here, Abels. Shielding off Kat Barry. 56 goals this season for Barry. Lone goal in the playoffs came against SC Del Sol on match day 2, a 2-0 win for the Boston Breakers. Sabasco steps in. Zoe Allen cuts off the pass on the far side. In for Ray. Ray, who plays as that inside midfielder, but she can show up in multiple positions for these Boston Breakers. It's a loose touch given off to Mattingly. Slides around Bourgeois. Now takes the inside route, threads it through, and cut off by Hicks.
Great read by Hicks there, because if that ball had gotten in, you had Meza going straight to goal.
Tivinen sends it long. Well, they won't get to the ball here, the Breakers, but they can push their lines higher and try and win it in Solar's half. Played for Mattingly. Back for Abels. 20 minutes gone in Oceanside. 1-0 Solar lead, and they're looking for more. Stam getting everyone forward. Ware with the header. Second ball won by Kofton. Mattingly, one touch out to Sabasco. Hicks. Allen forced back with it.
Here we go, Luke. Good ball. Good ball, Luke. Get control.
McGuire unable to weave her way through. This is Mattingly for Solar in the 22nd minute.
See, Boston's starting to do a good job of putting pressure on them and not letting them get into their rhythm. You're seeing they're getting 2-3 passes, and that fourth one is just getting disrupted, whether it's a mistake going out of bounds or playing it directly into the feet of a Breaker player rather than to the feet of a Solar player.
So it'd be a throw in for Bourgeois. Bourgeois making her 10th appearance, up from the 16-17s. 9 of those have been starts.
And right away, numbers up for Solar as that ball's getting played in.
Slid out to the far side. Blocked by Hicks, who's a shutdown defender on the wing. Byers turns. Byers on the end line, pulls it back off the crossbar.
Byers are showcasing her, not only her technical ability, but her strength and awareness to recognize where the player is and can she quickly explode out, quick touch, cut it back in, and also having the awareness to see where her teammates are is phenomenal.
Meza was so close to Solar's second, and now she's on the ball. Tried to scoop it through. And it's McGuire to take for Boston. Has Oli Berry in front of her. She'll leave it back for Kofton. Good work from Kofton to elude the challenge of Mattingly. Now Capadona will get it out wide for Hicks. On the flank for Allen. Over the top looking for the run of McGuire. And coming to the extreme of her penalty area to take is Tatum Sutherland. Space for Mattingly. A great job by Ray to step in and win it back for the Breakers.
You can see her motioning her teammates, let's push forward quickly, don't go negative, you just want the ball. Instead of going forward to try to counter, they're going more negative, bringing it back, and now they have to rebuild again, trying to build into the attacking third.
Good skill by Ware to bring that down, but the pass is picked off by Barry. Oh, gorgeous ball through. Flag stays down, but the shot rolled in to Tatum Sutherland. A great run by McGuire and beautiful vision to slide that through from Kat Barry.
And that all started with her winning the ball defensively, using her body to shield, and then playing that ball through the gap, and McGuire coming diagonally across. And you can hear the coaching staff looking for the foul though, but you know, McGuire though, still able to get a shot off. Sutherland was there to make the save.
Offside flag is up. The Stam beat Meza to the punch. It'll be a free kick for the Boston Breakers. Just at about the midway point of the first half. What are your thoughts so far, Danielle?
So far, Solar, I think, has shown that they have more control right now. They're able to win the ball, and they're not afraid to be patient, which is building the ball, keep switching the point of attack until they can go forward. The Breakers, however, have been applying more pressure, and that's where you're seeing those balls earlier that were going to the feet. Now they're getting picked off a bit early because they're playing the ball too early or they're playing it too late, causing an offside.
Del Pico running right at the heart of the Solar defense. unable to get it through. Room for Mattingly to run. Ray steps up to her. Mattingly gets it square. Over the top looking for the run of Byers. Will go all the way into the arms of Stam.
So Byers just a step too early, anticipating that ball, and it wasn't played quick enough for her liking, so that's where she ended up backing off, recognizing that she was offside. The Breakers have shown they have the ability to possess and build up as well. It's just that final ball is what they're missing. In the first one, they really had that opportunity with McGuire getting played in. That's where I want to see Boston try to settle and get more of those type of options with the diagonal ball through, rather than just trying to kick it long and hoping that the players up top can out-muscle them and win the ball in the air.
Meza to bring it forward for Solar. In the middle for Missimo. Spins Ray. Well, she's looking to try and see if she can find a seam in that Boston defense, but it held firm. Barry gets it off for Ray. Connie Ray, committed to Bryant University, gets it out wide. Unable to track it down on the far side was Zoe Allen.
So the Boston back four now, they recognize this is what we're going to expect. They're going to try to play it through the gaps, and they're doing a very good job of being able to anticipate that and intercept the pass quickly.
Meza, a bit too far in front of Missimo. One back for Meza. In for Byers, who checks to the pocket. Be a thrown for Solar in the 28th minute. Brought down by Simmons. Bright was calm under the pressure of McGuire. This is Ware. Out wide for Abels. Look at that for a piece of skill from Sabasco as she turns it back to where she wanted to play it, and her center back Ware.
And this is where, again, Solar showing that they are okay with playing it back and resetting, getting their shape, and playing it back forward, being very patient.
Sabasco. Just like Sutherland, on her way to SMU, Sabasco. Here she is again. Ellis wins the foot race on the far side. In for Byers. She lets it run, as does Missimo. It's Mattingly. It's two. Gorgeous goal from Solar.
I love that little dummy there to let that ball come all the way across. And we saw Mattingly wide open on the opposite side. Here's the ball across there. Missimo faking the shot, jumping over, drawing in the defender with her. And there is Mattingly, takes a touch, is able to stay composed as Stam comes flying out of her box to try to break it there. There's another dummy look. Touch, finish, passes it into the back of the net for a 2-0 lead.
That's a world-class goal. The build-up, the team move, the speed of thought, and the composure of the finish. Mattingly getting on the end of all that, and she made no mistake for her 17th goal of the season.
Absolutely beautiful build-up from Seoul, and that's, again, they were willing to go back, rebuild it back up, keep possession until finally they find their moment to attack.
We're heading toward the half-hour mark in Oceanside, and this one has been a joy to watch on both sides. It's Solar who have the 2-0 lead. Boston has strung together some lovely combinations as well. Just haven't been able to solve the riddle. That is the back line and Sutherland. As Barry works her way into the box. Gets a step on Abels, who gets back and forces the corner kick. Second of the game for the Breakers.
Good effort there by Barry to try to beat her player, go down line. And with that tough angle, might as well boot it off the player and get a corner out of it.
So it's Gabby Del Pico who will take the corner kick for the Breakers. Floats all the way through and lands on the roof of the net. Oh, it's in the net, just on the wrong side.
You can see the idea where it was going. I think the wind just carried that one a little bit too far wide. You see she was trying to go right on top of that 6 where she had a couple of players waiting, and again, it makes the keeper to make a decision. Sutherland has to decide, do I come out or do I sit on my line and wait for the second ball?
Capadona. Inside for Del Pico. Over to Allen on the far side. Allen cuts back onto her left foot, plays it across. Well defended by Ware.
That's where you're seeing Allen had the ball in that corner. There was a huge gap going towards the box. That's where you wish a player would just check into it and hope that they can just open up and take a quick shot.
Well, Danielle, you know better than me, but one thing that I'm really impressed with from Byers is she starts on the back shoulder of the defender and then cuts in between to that little pocket of space in between the midfield and defensive lines, and that's where she's winning the ball and starting the attack, whether she turns and goes to defenders or leaves it off for somebody running through. But it's her ability to go away from the ball and then check back to it, which is really opening up a lot of space for Solar.
It's just that player movement off the ball where you teach kids you want to be able to peel off or check away, check to, and you see that she does a phenomenal job and is explosive enough with her movements. You know, she can slow down and then speed up quickly, and that change of speed is what causes defenders then to sometimes get caught off guard and gives her enough separation to get the ball and go play with it the way that she wants to.
33rd minute, Solar 2 goals to the good. Hollenstam and the Boston Breakers trying to do something about it. As this punt will go all the way through for McGuire. McGuire tried to go for the first time effort. Route 1, almost the proper route for the Boston Breakers.
So they stand there having the recognition to see the 1v1, and there was the misjudgment of the bounce, and that's where McGuire took off. But again, great tracking by Abels to put that pressure on McGuire and force McGuire to have not a great touch going in. But there's that idea, though, can I play over the top and can I exploit that back line?
Ray will get it back for Capadona. She'll guide it back to Stam. Over to Bourgeois. Being watched by Mattingly, scorer of the second goal for Solar. Stepped in and won by Ellis on the far side. Left on, Missimo! Solar running away with it. Missimo with the delayed run in from deep. Kisses it off the post. It's her second, Solar's third.
That's where you see that high pressure from that front line. And you see every time they put pressure on the ball, they're just kind of forcing players to go where they want. And then the pickoff by Ellis, stepping up, playing it forward, and first touch penetrating forward. And the quick little passes there. Again, that awareness by Bright to just lay it off and allow Missimo to make that trailing run underneath, coming forward, and the easy one-time finish. So Solar has been a lot of fun watching just the player movement off the ball and how quickly they transition from defending into attack, where you see they get 4 or 5 players right into the attack right away.
Missimo's been involved in all 3 goals. Both of her goals have been assisted by Trinity Byers. Del Pico.
And Byers' awareness has just been so oppressive, where she just seems to know where her teammates are at all times.
Once again, we're forgetting that Byers is an 03 as well, playing up with these 18-19s.
That and Missimo as well, just the 03 combo going on over here.
Both of them already committed to the University of Texas. Well, what a 1-2 punch these Longhorns will be getting in a few years.
That, and you're seeing that they're getting call-ups with the national teams, especially with Trinity being with the U16 squad that recently won in April, where they were able to win. And she led, as you mentioned, 5 goals in that tournament, 5 goals for the U16 girls national team so far this year.
Inside for Missimo. Gets it right back. Cleared away by Ray. Inside the final 10 minutes of the first half. "17 goals in 3.5 playoff games for Solar.
It's the right idea there where you see checking into the ball was Meza trying to draw that defender in, and that opened up space for the overlapping run where it looked like Ellis was trying to be the receiving end of that pass. Just looked like it got taken a little bit too far, but there's that movement again, just as one player's coming in, another player's circling out. Anytime a player has the ball, you're seeing either a triangle shape or just numbers around supporting, and that's where they're able to play so quickly in and around and be able to find that option through once they get the Boston defense right now out of their shape.
Free kick for Boston. McGuire spins. This is Mary-Kate McGuire. Abel sweeps it off of her foot, but it will be a throw-in for the Breakers deep in Solar territory.
Looks like we're seeing quite a lot of that McGuire-Abels matchup today. McGuire is showing again that she can use her physicality and her body to turn and get that option going forward.
Bourgeois throwing, bought down by Barry. Trying to spin, goes down in the box. No call, says the referee, and it's Solar to go the other way. Mattingly flying forward. Ray stops her in her tracks. Mattingly able to get it inside. Sabasco over the top. It's looking for the run of Meza. Stam gets there first.
Great job by Stam to come off her line again. As we've seen, she's very aggressive coming forward, and for her to be able to control that ball and not give up a rebound is huge because Meza was right there. And you see again, Solar winning the ball. Can they get forward? They're looking to switch the point of attack quickly to the other side.
Boston looking for McGuire once again. Abels has been equal to the task all afternoon. This is Bears. Plays it behind her U-16 national team teammate. And it's Del Pico to go the other way. One back by Sabasco. Bears overtakes. Gorgeous ball played through with the outside of the foot for Sabasco. But it's read by the Boston defense, and it will be a throw-in for Solar.
There's Meza there just trying to win that ball back quickly so she can post up and lay it back off in the middle. Good effort there.
It's been a frustrating first half for Ronald Lopes. Coughton trying to spin away from Simmons, able to get a foot in and help it onto Meza. Missimo's already on a hat trick. Mattingly. Mattingly unleashes. It wasn't far off. Just driving right at the heart of the defense from her wide position, Mattingly. The shot tailing away from goal, but a good effort from Mattingly as she looked for her second of the afternoon.
It's great communication there first, where she was able to take that ball over and say, I got it, and just diagonally cutting through the gap between the midfield and the defense, attacking forward and getting that shot off. Very dangerous shot.
Riley Mattingly on her way to the University of Alabama. Missimo again. Well, that far flank's wide open. Meza, foot on the ball. Back for Simmons. She'll keep it through Bright. Nice little drop of the hips to send Barry the wrong way. Where? Abels. Near side Mattingly. Being hounded by Bourgeois. And the free kick will go the way of Solar in the 40th minute. Simmons. Stepped in by Capadona. Boston almost look like they've gone to a back three with Capadona stepping up into the midfield.
That, and they've also tried to have Barry be more of the target player right now and having McGuire sit in more as the 7th position rather than being the 9. So now you see they're trying to get the ball up to Barry and most likely going to try to see if she can then lay the ball back, then go forward again.
Get it through, looking for the run on McGuire, and there's Abels again.
Abel's doing a great job of anticipating where McGuire is, and even if McGuire is getting her foot on the ball, Abels is there just to cut off that second touch and just frustrating McGuire right now.
Mattingly. Dispossessed by Del Pico. Del Pico dicing through the back line, but it's won back by Bright.
Del Pico showing off not only her speed, but her technical ability, being able to cut through a couple players. And you saw the idea that she was trying to play the ball with McGuire overlapping. But again, the Solar defense doing a great job of anticipating that ball and cutting it off.
Byers intercepts. Simmons looking over the top. Hicks with a loose touch. Overtaken by Ellis. Off to Meza. Ellis wants the return ball. Meza instead scoops it into Massimo. Her header a bit too deep. And Stam will dive onto the loose ball.
Looked like Massimo was trying to catch her off guard and flick it above her, but once again, Stam read that well, was able to make that dive.
Well, she's been beaten 3 times, Stam, but can't really fault her for any of the goals.
Either a lot of it was just the movement again with Solar being able to move that ball around and get the defense out of position and opening up gaps for players to get those one-on-one opportunities, and really not a lot of pressure behind it when they take those shots.
Here we go. Here we go.
Capadona turns.
Make a play, Lou.
Allen on the far side. Squares up to Ellis. And Ellis able to poke it out of bounds. Coming up next, it's the other semifinal. It's Crossfire Premier versus LAFC Slammers. The winner will take on the winner of this game in the finals on Friday. Solar win the ball on the far side. Boston less than 2 minutes away from regrouping at halftime. What will they talk about during the break?
And one thing I've noticed again is their transition is a little bit slower, especially when they're going forward. And a lot of times they're trying to play that ball up top and we're not getting the support there, or they're just trying to play it long. But they had more opportunities building up when they built up, playing the ball on the ground more to create some options there. And you can just see the huge gap between each line. While with Solar on the other side, when they transition, you see the lines coming up and you see how quickly they support the ball.
Can Boston pull one back before the break? They have their 3rd corner kick of the afternoon. Del Pico will take. This one will be an in-swinger. Served in, keeper stays on her line. Popped into the path of Byers. Byers intercepts. Has the beating of Ray. Hicks comes over. Byers steps inside of her. It's Byers. It's Stam getting a touch, and Ray to clear it away.
Great save by Stam. But you see there, Byers, when she exploded out, what I love most is that she took that touch to split the 2 defenders, attacking both of them, getting them misdirected and creating that separation to go forward. Stam, though, with a huge save.
Well, if it weren't for Stam, this game would be well out of hand. She's made some big saves, Holland Stam.
And the recovery, too, by Ray to get behind the keeper to clear that ball out and not let it just trickle in.
Down by Missimo. That drive. Been able to save it on the line with Stam. Made sure that it didn't squeak through.
It's a rocket there from Ellis, I believe, with that shot. And Stam almost looked like she misjudged it at first. Didn't realize how hot that ball was coming, but was able to recover and not let it roll behind her.
Barry was able to spin two, but couldn't beat the third. As it was Ellis who hit it. It was certainly knuckling. But she did a good job to react the second time of asking Stam.
And with that save too, as she's going down, pushing it forward away from the line. Well, some keepers tend to push straight, and that's when you end up seeing it roll behind them. She had the recognition to curl it up in front, so that way she made sure it didn't cross the line.
Solar running riot in the first half. There are 3 goals to the good. Missimo got us started after just 3 minutes. Mattingly just before the half-hour mark, and the Missimo bagged her brace 11 minutes before halftime. What were your thoughts on the first half?
Solar right now seems to be a bit in the driver's seat in regards to when they get the ball, they're able to possess and move it. Boston, when there was only a 1-0 game, they were really putting that pressure on it, and you saw a lot of mistakes come out of him, whether it was just a ball going out of bounds or not finding the right player. And that's where Boston really should have kept their foot on the pedal and kept going. And instead, at this point, with 3 games in already, you're starting to see a bit of that heavy legs coming in. So we'll see how they adjust the second half.
Let the break. It's Solar 3, Boston 0. We're going to take a break, but we'll be back with you for the second half here on USSoccerDA.com. All set for the final 45 minutes of semifinal number 1 here at the U.S. Soccer Development Academy Girls 18-19 playoffs. Taylor Burgess has replaced Holland Stam at halftime in the Boston Breakers goal, and the stat line's not going to say this, but Holland Stam had an excellent 45 minutes for the Boston Breakers.
She had a lot of big saves and came out, was very aggressive, and was able to break up quite a few plays where this game could easily be a lot higher than what it is now. The score does not reflect that, as you mentioned, but Stam did have a good showing in that first half.
Can Boston get an early goal and get themselves back into contention? Trailing 3-0 to Solar. Boston will have the throw in deep in Solar's end. Bourgeois coming over. He's very good with these long throws, Bourgeois. Barry spins in the box, but she handled it. Another substitution to tell you about is Taylor Cofton also came off for the Boston Breakers, and on for her is Grace Faulkner, who will play her college ball in the Ivy Leagues at Yale. And this is Olivia Hicks. Future Maryland Terrapin gets it forward for Allen, but it's won back by Bright. Danielle, right away you can see Boston pressing a lot higher in this second half than they did in the first.
See, Boston has a lot of energy right now, trying to come out and catch the Solar on their heels. Seeing as they're up 3-0, they're feeling a bit comfortable. Boston's just trying to disrupt it right now.
Sabasco. This is Bright. Dribbles into the attack, leaves it off for Meza. Samantha Meza. Meza, of course, we talked about starting all 4 matches in the U-17 CONCACAF Championships for the U.S. It's described as a possible starter in the U-17 World Cup in Uruguay.
Yeah, and she's made her impact here, and you see why when with this team, how she's able to move in and out, and again, being able to have that recognition of knowing when to hold, when to stay, and when to pass and move.
16 caps for the U-17s for Samantha Meza. As Bright shields this ball out of bounds for a goal kick. Messiah Bright is bound for Texas Christian University. Stooping header to get it back the other way from Capadona, who's now playing in the midfield as Grace Faulkner has taken her position at center back. Ellis, beautiful ball inside for Simmons. Slots it through for Byers. We'll get it out wide. Played through for Barry to chase. Bright comes over and cover. Good clearance from Bright as well. Will fall to Bourgeois. And this is Capadona.
And we're seeing Boston already looking a bit more calmer with their build-up, which you saw on that right flank, just that final ball again. Looking just a little bit disconnected there with that final ball to try to play in. Now we know, as we mentioned, Barry pinching in now, playing more of a central, and keeps switching in and out with McGuire.
One back by Ellis. Through for Byers, working 1-on-2. Waits for the cavalry to arrive. Poked away from Missimo. The shot over Burgess. Solar have their 4th Less than 5 minutes into the second half.
So that was great build up there by Byers to be able to bring it forward, switch it back and cross.
Courtney Sabasco from distance. Well, the sun is shining brightly in Oceanside, but it's beaming down on Solar as they have a 4-0 lead in the 51st minute.
And there's Sabasco there, being able to recognize that there's space forward to penetrate. She took that shot and recognized the keeper's out a bit. Let me try to rip this one over the top. Beautiful placement, beautiful shot to be able to make this now a 4-0 game.
Meza brings it down, spins away from the pressure of Hicks. Misimo. Once again, though, it was the hold-up play by Byers that opened up the space for Sabasco to score.
And you see her ability to be able to hold on to the ball. And she drew in 3 defenders surrounding her before she played that ball across, and it was laid back off for Sabasco. And again, having that confidence and that ability to strike the ball from distance.
Ellis. Ellis again.
What's impressive too with the Solar is that they've only have 3 subs on their bench. So a lot of these players have had a lot of minutes and wear and tear on their legs, and they're still able to play aggressively.
We'll say though, when you know how to make the ball do the work, that's exactly what they're doing. You're absolutely right.
So it's a lot of the work with the ball going forward, breaking those lines, but you still see a lot of movement on and off the ball and their ability to transition quickly.
This is Misimo, leaves it off her barriers, dragging it out to Misimo. Stepping in is Ray, and she'll sweep it clear. McGuire, over the top. Byers in a foot race. Byers, good save from Sutherland. So close to pulling one back for Boston Byers. But Sutherland maintains the clean sheet for Solar, who've only given up 1 goal in these playoffs.
So Barry there showing how she's able to use her size to her advantage. She was able to cut in front and hold off that defender to give herself the ability to shoot inside the box. But Sutherland coming off her line, making a big save to keep the score, or keep the goal out of the net and secure the shutout.
Correction, they've given up 3 goals in these playoffs, but they have a clean sheet here. It's just a good job to come out and really cut down that angle.
And there's
good shielding from Barry, though.
That's the thing. She got that step and was able to use her body to hold off that player and was able to get the shot off. Sutherland being able to anticipate which side it was going to, and she leaned towards that way to get her body behind the ball to block it.
I'll tell you, there are definitely moments or periods in this game where I want to clip the video and show it to my teams and say, this is how you should play. The movement off the ball, the passing, the way they're breaking the lines, it's all very fun to watch.
As we mentioned, there's quite a few players on this team that have already been in the national team pools. This is exactly what you want to see them in the Develop Academy, being able to work with their club teams and get their foot in the door and progress through the system into the national team pools.
Have to be a lot of college coaches too watching this and just kind of rubbing their hands together. They're going, yeah, I made the right decision. I'm getting a really good player. Both of these teams as well. Del Pico going to Harvard. Olivia Hicks will be a shutdown defender at Maryland.
So that and a lot of these college coaches too, I'm sure, have been scouting all the younger pools and getting ready to get their recruiting set up for the next cycle.
Zoe Allen. Committed to Boston College, flights it in. This is McGuire. She goes down, gets back up, finally has it poked away from her. Well, credit to McGuire for popping right back up.
You see Boston now, what they're trying to do is catch Solar pushing up a little bit higher, and they're trying to exploit those gaps in between. A quick counter, playing it over the top and trying to get numbers up. And that's where you're starting to see more of that, which in the first half, as I mentioned, they weren't doing that as well. And there's an example when Barry was able to get that shot. There wasn't enough players trailing behind to get that rebound.
This over the top for Barry to chase again. Good work by Bright. Simmons tried to go over the top. This is Capadona in the midfield. Pushes it forward for Ray. She loses out. And this is the latest goal scorer, Sabasco.
Great pickoff there by DePico.
Gabby DePico shimmies past one challenge. Slides it into the feet of Barry. Barry has a hit. Bright with the block.
So DePico again showing off her explosiveness and her ability to penetrate forward quickly.
The bounce falls kindly for Meza. Slots it through for the run of Beyer. Beyer getting there before Tivonen. Her touch takes her wide. And it's going to be a goal kick as Tivonen was able to flick it away from Beyer. She plays it quickly. This is Missimo. It's not a hat trick. Still going Missimo, looking for options. Get it back off for Meza. Quick 1-2 with Beyer. Spray back across. Ellis. Meza. Ellis continued to run. It opens up the inside route for Meza, who tried to drill it into the feet of Beyer, but it's cut out. And now it's Boston to go the other way. Rolled along for Barry. Steps inside of Bright. Curls her shot wide of the near post.
I think you're seeing that the reason they wanted to shift Barry into the middle is because you have that size advantage going against Bright, where you've got two big players battling off, versus with McGuire trying to pinch in, she has a bit of a disadvantage, just a matter of height difference. So that's where you see Barry right now is having a better win success in regards to being able to push the player off the ball, cut in, and you're starting to see her get more looks on goal.
This is Beyer. If you're Adrian Solka, at what point do you feel comfortable enough that this result is in hand, that you get those 3 substitutes onto the field and get some players rest for the final? This one behind Beyer.
I think for them, he's still a little bit nervous because Boston is showing that they do have the ability to push forward and get some looks on target. They've already had a couple so far. Once Boston gets one, I think it's going to help give them that confidence they need to continue pushing forward.
Here's Del Pico. It's over the top for McGuire. Good defending, getting back from Abels. And this will be the first substitution of the afternoon for Solar. And it's Meza who's coming off, and Sydney Nobles will replace her. So a like-for-like substitution. Nobles, who will play her college ball at Texas, making her 29th appearance of the season. 6 goals on the year for Nobles. So the U-17 World Cup prospect is off, and Nobles is on.
So Meza had a great game today, put in a lot of work, and at this point he's probably thinking, if the result holds, I want to be able to have her available and healthy, well rested for the final on Friday.
Ellis. Get it back in. Simmons. Nobles, her first touch of the day. It's a bit heavy, and it's taken away by Olivia Hicks. Oh, what a touch that was from Bright, but her pass is intercepted. Capadona. It's strong in the challenges, Ellis.
Del Pico showing off her foot skills there with a little L-turn pass back for the overlapping run of Capitona, but fortunately was able to get picked off on the other way.
That one bounced just over Ray. This is Missimo. Open the scoring after just 3 minutes, Missimo. And now she's looking to pull the strings. Through for Bayer. Flag stays down. It's Bayer, and it's saved by Burgess.
See Bayers again, seeing the awareness of being able to delay her run enough to stay onside, then gets in. You see, that's twice now that when she's gotten that shot, keepers have been able to position themselves and make that save.
Just past the hour mark in Oceanside. Bayer bearing down on goal, didn't really have the angle. Burgess stood tall in the Boston net. I think that one you gotta go upper corner because you're not gonna be able to get it across the face of the keeper. Either way, Burgess did well.
That's one of those, or as she's looking to do it, can you open up and go near side post, beat her down low, as it looks like Burgess was there already anticipating her trying to go far instead.
Nobles runs at the gap, gets the return ball from Bayer. Hicks is there, and Hicks will come away with it for the Breakers. This is Zoe Allen. Muscled off the ball by Ellis. Forward for Missimo. Into the gap for Nobles. One-time cross. Falls for Bayer. Tremendous defending from Bourgeois to get in front of her and not allow the shot.
And a great effort by Nobles to be able to keep that ball in and bring her hips around enough to drive that ball back away from the goal. Well, as you see some players when they're in that position, it tends to go out of bounds or run along the edge line.
Missimo. It's been fun to watch her conduct the orchestra this afternoon for Solar.
Let's say that combo in the middle of Missimo, Spasco, and Simmons, the three of them constantly rotating and still managing to keep their triangular shape has been very fun to watch.
Del Pico. This one will roll all the way through for Tatum Sutherland. They're looking for their 13th clean sheet of the season, Solar. Looking to become just the third side to keep the Breakers off the board this season. Look at the touch from Missimo to bring it down.
It's a beautiful control and then the ability to take it away and then penetrate forward again.
Missimo let it run. Nobody making the diagonal run underneath her, but you can see the gear spinning in her head. Such a high soccer IQ.
She was hoping for another dummy that would lead into a goal-scoring opportunity with that one.
I'm gonna say Missimo has 2 goals and a de facto assist. She didn't get the touch, but it was her dummy that brought the defenders in, that opened up the space for Mattingly to score the game's 2nd goal just before the half-hour mark.
That's where you look and see you've got Missimo and Bayers are involved with almost every goal at this point in regards to either being the player to win the ball and penetrate forward and set it up, or they had the actual assist or the actual goal.
I don't think U.S. Soccer Development Academy has a category for de facto assist, but I'll give it to her. This is Missimo. And coming over to make the challenge was Tivonen. Was the hero on match day 2, Tivonen, with the game-winning goal against SC Del Sol. But it will be a substitution for the Breakers, as coming on is Sydney Baldwin. Baldwin making her 25th appearance, up from the 16-17s. Very good player with both of her feet. Soraya Costello coming on as well for the Breakers. Corner kick. Burgess punches away. Lost sight of the ball, but it's popped clear. Abels also came off after having a tremendous game, keeping KT McGuire, or Mary Kate McGuire, I should say, quiet.
Say Abels did a great job shutting down McGuire, winning that battle and keeping McGuire off the scoreboard. It'd be interesting to see how McGuire will look at that, and can she attack that space right away, welcome in the player off the bench with the ball through, and try to win that matchup.
Hicks unable to get it by Ellis, but she wins the throw-in. Now it'll go the other way. Free kick for the Breakers in the 66th minute.
One of the few fouls that were called today, as we've seen a lot of play go ahead.
Ebo is the one who replaced Abels. So Serena Ebo is on for her 25th appearance this season for Solar. There is Mary Kate McGuire fighting. Brought down by Nobles. This is Misimo. The Maestro leaves it off for Byers. Threads it to the far side. Oh, what a turn that is from Mattingly! That would have been a sensational goal for Riley Mattingly.
Again, great ball movement, great composure by Solar, swinging it around to Byers, who drags it across, plays a little ball through, and there's Mattingly, just a little 1-2, cut back around, beats the defender, and tries to go opposite post and just misses wide.
Once again, it's the layoff from Byers. Mattingly so close to her second of the afternoon.
A great little touch, just pulling it back behind that planted left foot and then explode out the other way, showing off the foot skills that she has, and a powerful strike, just a few inches off the mark.
'68th minute, semifinal number 1. Coming up next, we'll have the second semifinal for you, as it'll be LAFC Slammers taking on Crossfire Premier. Misimo works her way into the box and runs out of real estate.
Oh, Nobles was making that opposite run, looking for that ball through the gap. It looks like Misimo was trying to go end line first before cutting back there.
So Viquez comes on for Mattingly for her 11th appearance of the season. Mattingly comes off with a goal to her name, scoring on the 29th minute to make it 2-0 in favor of Solar, who have since tacked on 2 more.
You got Meza and Mattingly taking a break, as those 7-11 positions have done a lot of work today. And that's where you're seeing they trying to rotate those positions to give them a breather and get them fresh for the final. And then on the defensive side, Abel's doing a lot of work against McGuire, and that's where she's getting the well-deserved rest.
McGuire was trying to get away here, but the cross into her was blocked. So it'll be a throw-in on the far side for the Breakers. Barry's header. Brought down by Viquez on the far side. This will be a Breakers ball. So Crossfire Premier and LAFC Slammers coming up next. Still about 22 minutes to go in this one. 4-0 lead for Solar. Hicks jumping into the attack. Baldwin. Faulkner slides it inside. This is Del Pico. Del Pico has a go. Well, it had Sutherland interested, but it falls on the other side of the crossbar, and it'll be a goal kick for Solar in the 70th minute.
We're seeing Del Pico here putting in the work and effort, trying to navigate her way through the midfield and setting up her teammates up top. she had the space and she recognizes it. She's able to explode into it and try to take a shot, just try to get anything to get the offense going for her team right now. So Boston, to me, you're seeing a lot of instances where players are caught on the same line and they're really flat. And that's where you want to see that movement more of checking in and out and trying not to be caught on the same plane. And that's where Solar has been able to take advantage with their movement on and off the ball.
Barry. Dispossessed. That's a good run. It's a great run, and Sabasco almost found her second from distance.
Sabasco was trying to go 2 for 2 there, penetrating forward and ripping a shot from distance. Just seemed she was a little off balance on that final shot.
So it'll be another goal kick for Taylor Burgess, who will keep goal for UMass Lowell. Hicks. One back by Viquez. Missimo comes over to help her out. Through for Nobles. Burgess gets there first. Did well to stretch for that ball.
Good read by Burgess, anticipating that ball coming in and reading the deflection off the defender and still managing to make the save before Nobles was there. And Missimo once again showing off how well she can possess the ball and dance with the ball almost to be able to move it and then play it through the gaps.
Wide for Hicks. Over the top for Mary-Kate McGuire. Portsmouth, Rhode Island native in a battle for the ball. Somehow able to come away from the scrum with it is Del Pico. And Del Pico will win the free kick.
And Del Pico looks like she's trying to put the team on her back right now with how much she's trying to maneuver the ball through and create opportunities for her teammates.
Sydney Baldwin, who's coming over to take. Sudbury, Massachusetts native will look to either put this on the penalty spot or the back corner of the 6. It is right toward that penalty spot. They don't win the first ball, Boston, and it's Solar to go the other way. This is Missimo.
A good read by Hicks to be able to drop in where you saw Missimo was looking to play that ball through for Byers to go one-on-one to goal.
Over the top for Barry to run. But Bright, as she has been all afternoon, is there. Tremendous skill to kill that instantly.
It's a great touch there by Viquez to be able to settle that long ball in, turn it, and go the other way.
Ellis wants to run. Nobles gets it across. Viquez. One back by Bourgeois. It's a good run, Bourgeois. She's hammered into. Barry gets on the end of it. She'll put it out wide for Mary-Kate McGuire. McGuire. Bright comes over, takes it off of her, continues to shield, and wins the free kick.
Great defending by Bright to find the gap in the separation when McGuire took that touch just a little bit too far ahead that allowed Bright to sneak in, shield the ball, and draw the foul.
Oh, Bright has cut off every ball over the top today. Del Pico. Barry. Del Pico. Taken away by Nobles. They're off and running here. Three players for Sabasco to find forward, but instead she'll clip it back to Simmons. Sabasco tried to scoop it over the top for Barry.
almost picked off there as she was turning. You saw she anticipated it, just went a little bit too far away as the turn was quicker than she thought.
Ellis wins it again, taken off of her foot. Capadonna. Faulkner. Hicks cuts inside. McGuire was unable to help it on to Hicks, who would continue to run. It's Nobles to go the other way. Over the top, looking for Beyer. And coming across to cut it out is Tivinen.
So good job by Tivinen to disrupt the play as you saw Byers is getting ready to turn and go to goal.
Nobles. Well, it's a weaving run forward from where? She'll leave this one off. Sabasco was unable to smuggle it through. Played over the head of Beyer. A foot race with Hicks. Beyer wins another corner kick for Solar.
This will give Solar a bit of a breather now as they're able to take their time in setting up this corner. See, despite being up 4-0, you still see whenever they have the opportunity to attack quickly, they're still willing to do it. And once they realize they can't get that ball through right away, they're able to just pass it back, move the ball around, and wait for the gaps to open up again.
Maddie Ellis is there with Missimo. Plays it short for Alexis Missimo. Threads it through. Too far ahead of Ellis, and it's cleared to Barry.
From Boston counter
Barry
quickly.
For McGuire. Forward for Del Pico. Ware gets back, and Del Pico is unable to spin her. Great recovery run by Ware. Nobles.
This is where you're starting to see the tired legs of Boston, where those players up top are not getting back quick enough, or they're not pressuring quick enough when they're high there to try to win it back in the attacking third.
Slid in for Missimo. Invited to have a go. Burgess gets a strong hand on.
See Byers trying to just poke that ball in to follow up the rebound, but Burgess makes both saves in a row. Here's the initial now with Missimo ripping a shot. First save there at Burgess, and then Byers tries to come in for the rebound. But Burgess again being able to block it and secure the ball.
Strong hands to play that one wide. Even though Byers was on the rebound, Burgess able to pounce, as there will be a free kick from about 40 yards out.
You see there
for
too,
Solar.
The athleticism of her to be able to go down, get back up, and then dive back down again.
It's been good refereeing by Brittany Hangerman. Burgess has made some good saves, has only been beaten once here in the second half. So this one driven in, and Burgess holds.
You saw Burgess there trying to keep her hand shaped, the contour, not letting the ball bounce out. Great ball security with that save.
Final 11 minutes in semifinal number 1. Solar looking to see this game out and advance to Friday's final. Missimo looking for her hat trick. Perhaps looking to turn provider here, just not enough pace on it to reach Nobles, as it was Hicks with another important intervention for the Boston Breakers.
And there's that great little give-go combo for his play it forward, drop it back, and look to switch the other way to Nobles. With the Boston Breakers anticipating that, was able to shut that play down, get it out of bounds. Now it's another corner kick.
She's been tremendous today, Alexis Misimo. Played into the back post. Inside netting for Solar. Inside the final 10 minutes. Boston have a mountain to climb. Raced out to a 3-0 lead after the first 45. And then Sabasco 5 minutes after the restart, scoring from about 25 yards out. And it's been comfortable ever since. But they're looking to cap it off. Love the younger Boston Breaker Academy players sitting in the stands on the far side, cheering every interception, urging their side forward, but it'll be another thrown for Solar.
It's great club support and that mentality of everyone being a family, cheering each other on and giving the extra encouragement from the sideline just helps boost your confidence up when you're on the field as well.
The passing has been extraordinary from Solar.
That at this point it's just trying to play keep away. Worth the ball, do the work, force Boston to chase and make them be even more tired than they're already feeling.
How about that for a ball played in? Boston able to wrestle it clear, only as far as Misimo was unable to push it through for Bayer. Bright. And where will help it back to Sutherland. Given up just 27 goals in 30 games, Solar. They're working on another clean sheet here. Would be their 13th of the season. And it would be against the Boston Breaker side that before today had scored 174 goals in their 31 matches. I'd say that's quite an accomplishment.
That is an incredible feat, being able to score that much. And we've seen here that Solar was able to come in with a defensive scheme, understanding that this is their style of play, and we're just gonna make it chase whenever we win the ball.
Forward for Barry. Keeps it in along the end line. Smacks it across. Solar will look to bring it out. Bayer. Nobles. Space for Simmons to pick out a pass. And she finds Sabasco. In for Bayer, working in between the lines once again. Misimo threads it through. Poked out wide, Sabasco steps inside, but couldn't keep her effort down.
And just that build-up play, you see right away they can't go to Byers. They kind of use her as a dummy, and then they play it back out, swinging around a bit until they finally get that option to either hit the pocket and take a shot or play that penetrating pass through for a 1v1 to goal.
Well, there's so many good things to pick out about this Solar performance. What is the top thing that stuck out to you?
For me, it's just the movement of the entire team, how they shift so well.
McGuire has a step, but shoots right into the breadbasket of Sutherland. Go again.
Their ability to move on and off the ball, how they have their lines, always have support, and they're shifting as a whole unit. For me, that's impressive, how they also keep the ball on the ground. When they do play it in the air, it's with a purpose and driving to someone's foot on the receiving end.
The refereeing crew for the next game have arrived just in front of us. They will be officiating LAFC Slammers versus Crossfire Premier, and we'll have it for you here on USSoccerDA.com. That one coming up shortly after the conclusion of this one. Kat Berry is offside. Final will be on Friday. Day for rest, recuperation, some scouting, some video. This is Nobles galloping into the space, puts it back across. Oh, so close to capping off a 5-star performance.
That play started with a beautiful check in and out for Nobles, being able to check in, then peel off quickly, penetrating into space. I think they're going to give a goal kick here to the Breakers with that beautiful ball in across and just that volley on the back post, trying to play it in. Just couldn't get her hips around, courtesy of the pressure there of the Boston defense to be able to trail in behind and prevent that ball from getting near the target.
Over the top, Burgess came off her line.
Quick ball out, just try to see if Boston can get one last ditch effort into the attacking third to try to get something on the board.
Del Pico just couldn't reach it in time. Head coach Ronald Lopez out, continuing to encourage his players for Boston to keep going forward, to continue to fight. Just be really proud with the effort his Boston Breakers side have put in, not only today, but throughout the entire season. Heading into today, they were 26-4-1. That's a tremendous season for this Boston Breakers club. As Hicks shields it off for her keeper.
Solar at this point just trying to keep the ball, play keep away, force the Boston Breakers to just constantly chase, get them even more tired, don't let them touch the ball.
Viquez. Missimo. Fire makes the run, but Missimo's ball was a bit too far ahead of her.
The Solar players being able to find those tiny gaps and pinpoint it in to the point when the player is receiving the ball where they're going to be rather than where they are. And that's extremely impressive at this level, where they're able to just know where each other's tendencies are, where they prefer to have the ball, and then understanding, okay, here's my player making a run, I know where they're going to be.
Capadona played it behind Bourgeois. So it'll be a throw in for Solar inside the final 2 minutes. I think it's safe to say it will be Solar heading into Friday's final. They'll face off against either LAFC Slammers or Crossfire Premier in a battle of the Northwest versus Southwest champions. Inside for Nobles. Looks inside. Tried to slip it through for Bayer.
So Boston, as of right now, will be the only team to shut out Bayers in this tournament. So that's one tiny feat that they can take away, that they were able to shut down the U-16 girls national team standout.
Well, you still think Bayer's going to get one? She said to me before the game, she's gone 4-1-4, so she should go one more today.
So there's only 1 minute left of stoppage time, so that is a very tough feat to do at this point. You've got Missimo on the other hand. She has 4 goals with the U-16 girls national team so far. And you see today she was able to convert 2 of her own for the brace.
And we do have to say that Bayer, maybe not on the score sheet today, but does have 2 assists as well. This shows her ability to not only have an eye for goal, but have an eye for the pass as well.
As I mentioned multiple times, her game awareness is unbelievable, especially at a young age too, when you think about how her and Misimo are playing up as well and standing out at the highest level that they can play it with at the Development Academy level.
So into the 1 minute minimum of stoppage time. Byron Misimo as much as 4 years younger than some of their opponents and their teammates as well. As Baldwin gets it back for Faulkner. They're all smiles on the Solar bench. They're on their way to the finals in the inaugural season of the U.S. Soccer Girls Development Academy. Nobles is making a run down this near side. It's played over to her. Hicks policing her. Inside for Viquez. Taken off of her. Solar make their way into the first ever U.S. Soccer Development Academy Girls U-18-19 final, and they do it in style with a 4-0 win over the Boston Breakers. Final thoughts, Danielle D'Avanzo.
It'll be extremely fun to see Solar compete in the final on Friday, and would love to see if, regardless of whoever wins this next match, whether it's LAFC Slammers or Crossfire Premier, would love to see how they're able to handle this possession style game and be able to find a defensive tactics to shut them down. As we said, many players are able to convert at this point, so it's a matter of how do you shut down the entire front line.
Well, Solar will be playing either LAFC Slammers or Crossfire Premier, and we'll bring that game to you. But first, hold up and stay with us as we will bring you post-game coverage. It finishes the Boston Breakers 0, Solar 4.
I'm Danielle Diavanzo alongside Alexis Mismo here. She had a brace in the Solar 4-0 win against the Boston Breakers. First off, congratulations to you and your team. You're now advancing to the finals.
Yes.
How are you guys feeling right now?
Well, we're nervous, but I think collectively we know what to do, and I think we got a chance to be national champions.
So both you and the Breakers were high-scoring offenses. What was your guys' defensive scheme going into this match?
Well, we watched their game live a couple days ago, their first game, and so collectively we know what to do. We were marked number 10 and number 12 up top, the big girl up top.
And then you, on the flip side, attacking-wise, you had at least 2 goals to your name, involved in some others. Can you kind of walk us through your 2 goals?
Well, my friend Trinity up top, she's the one who always plays me the ball. We have a really good connection, me and her, and she knows where I am all the time, and I know where she is all the time, and that's how I got my 2 goals.
And then for you both as well, you mentioned Trinity as well, the 2 of you playing with the national team and then coming here for your club team. Can you talk about how the U.S. Development Academy has helped prepare you for those national team competitions?
Yes, they definitely prepare me a lot. I know a lot about defending and a lot about attacking and details of on the ball and off the ball, and they help a lot, so yes.
So thank you again, Alexis, for joining me
you.
here. Coming up next is the LAFC Slant Flares taking on Crossfire Premier in the second leg of our semifinal matches. Stay tuned.
Make sure you kind of stay ready for what happened. Because she shouldn't have walked away, and it was awkward because you got a 2 shot for one person on there.
Gotcha.